Alongside hockey insider Chris Johnston, time for some rapid-fire trade talk on the Canadian clubs. Chris, let's start with the likely buyers. What's the plan for the Leafs, Jets, and Oilers?
Well, the Leafs are looking at players both for the blue line and at forward. I don't think they're locked in on one specific aspect, one specific need. They just want to get the best player or players available with the cap space they have to improve their team. And so I think that they're taking a broad view. In Edmonton, it's a little more focused. They're wanting a left shot defenseman. That's something that they've been keyed on. They've been sending their scouts around the league to look at the players available at that position. And so I think that they'll make an ad there. They also have some cap complications, so don't be surprised if they trade a player or two out in order to make a little bit more room. As for Winnipeg, they are flush with cap space, more than any other buyer essentially on this market. And I think that gives Kevin Cheveldayoff some options. He's probably focused on some depth, both on his blue line and in the forward group. Team's having a great year, but he can just wait the market out and see what develops. And maybe he makes a surprise move because he's one of the GMs with the cap space to do it.
Two teams are likely to be sellers, the Canucks and the Canadiens. How deep do you think their sell-offs go, Chris?
Well, the way it's been described to me is in Vancouver, everything that isn't strapped down is for sale. Everything, I guess, other than named Pettersson or Hughes could be on the market. But I think it's going to be tough for them to move out some of the contracts they have. I mean, that's been a year-long process that they've been trying to trade. Some of the likes of a Tyler Myers maybe, or Connor Garland, even Brock Besser's name's been out there. But because he has multiple years and a sizable cap hit, that might be tough. Luke Schenn, though, will be a desired candidate to be moved by the Canucks. He's had a great year. He's on a manageable and affordable cap hit, and he is a rental-type player. In Montreal, I think that they're looking at a couple things. Sean Monahan, working his way back still from injury as a rental, has appeal to other teams. I think those teams are going to want to see him get back playing, be sure that he's healthy before they pull the trigger. Another name to watch is Joel Edmondson, who does have 1 year beyond this one on his contract. He has drawn some interest, and I think there's a possibility they move on for him. They have a few other players, Dadonov, Drouin, that are impending free agents. I think they'll be tougher to move in this marketplace because of their cap hits.
Okay, two teams left, and they're kind of caught right in the middle. How do you expect the Flames and Sens to approach this trade season?
Well, I've got the Flames as being right on the fence right now. Look, Brad Living was aggressive in improving his team last summer. It hasn't maybe gelled just yet the way they want. He's been looking for a forward to add all season long, and I expect he'll continue that as March 3rd gets closer. Look for him also to try to add to his blue line. But how aggressive he ultimately is might depend on how his team plays between now and March 3rd. They're straddling the playoff line. I don't expect he would become a seller, but how aggressive a buyer he might be will be dependent on team performance between now and March 3rd. As for the Sens, they're both a buyer and a seller, kind of an unusual position. But Pierre Dorion isn't ready to throw the towel in on the season yet, wants to see his team make a push for the playoffs. He's been looking for a defenseman, even considering players that are rental players, those not signed beyond this season, trying to improve his team there. At the same time, I think he is open to moving some of his own expiring veterans, players like Cam Talbot or defenseman Travis Hamonic. And so in Ottawa, it's not one defined buyer or seller. They're a little bit of both. And we'll see how the team performs between now and March 3rd. That could also change the approach for Dorion.
A busy month ahead for all 7 Canadian team general managers. Our hockey insider, Chris Johnston.